301 and take the roll.
Director Finch?
Here.
Director Baggerly?
Here.
Director Johnston?
Here.
Director Thielke?
Here.
And Chair Hages?
Here. All right, next item is director announcements. Peter, do you have anything on the mutuals?
We have completed installation of a new 700,000 gallon water storage tank above Thatcher School. Usable, that's a total capacity. Usable capacity is about 550. And they finished the actual construction of the tank just last week. And now Travis Ag is working on hooking up the piping, which should take another week or 10 days. After which time we will be, we're all permitted and everything. We'll be activating the tank, filling it up, and moving into kind of a new chapter for little old Senior Canyon. So that's the big news in the East End.
Jim, anything on the conservation district?
Nothing. Did not meet.
Johnny, City of Ojai?
No, we met with the city of Ventura yesterday trying to get them to amend their cross complaint, but nothing's progressed.
Okay. Russ?
Okay, Lake Casitas is at 42.8% full. That's 42.8. That represents 101,766 acre feet. 101,766 acre feet.
Okay, did you say 42%?
42.8.
Okay, good.
Okay. I don't have anything for the communities facilities district. Other than Kenyatta Street, looks like they're almost finished putting in the new pipes, so that's a major improvement. Okay, basin status report, Jordan.
All right, good afternoon. Today we were able to get a hold of the downloaded data from the Elrod well. That depth to water is 123.83 feet, which is about 5 feet deeper than 1 month ago from May 25th of this year. This represents about 75% of base storage capacity at 6, just about on the nose. Things are following a similar trajectory to last year, actually, in that we received a good amount of rain, but still below average. Yet the basin responded to higher water levels and more water in storage than 2019. Unfortunately, we didn't get a discharge flow reading yet out of San Antonio Creek, so we'll pass that along via electronic mail so that it can be uploaded to the website on that table that we share on a monthly basis for now. So that's about it for basin status right now. I would like to note that over at the mutual water well.
Jordan's gone. I can't understand him.
Yeah, sounds like he's on Quaaludes.
They actually did a video survey down hole today, gyroscopic survey. Oh, did you guys lose me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Jordan.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure where we left off there, but
We already
okay. The quick and dirty of it is that we're at about 60,000 acre feet within storage in the basin capacity. 8 feet of water levels deeper than the peak in May and 5 feet deeper
You're breaking up again.
this time last month.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do something about your audio. We really can't understand most of what you're saying.
Okay, let me. We can come back to it when I get stopped here in a minute. I am mobile, driving along. So
Oh, okay.
once again, I think I'll just try to say that we're at about 75% of storage in the basin, 60,000 acre feet, with 8 feet decline off of our peak from May and 5 feet decline in water levels in the Keywell area over the last month. We have yet to be able to measure the discharge in San Antonio Creek out of the basin, the surface flow, yet this month, but that'll probably be the next day or so. And we'll forward along those data accordingly. Also wanted to pass along that at Ojai Mutual well number 7, the video survey was conducted today, and they ran a gyroscopic survey showing how straight that well was, and they passed along the data our way, thanks to Casitas. And it looks like it's a tremendously straight well and should do the job. The screen looks very good and open and everything. So pleased with what we see from our end on that project.
Okay, is that it?
That's it for the moment, indeed.
All right. Okay, the next item, we have public comments and items not appearing on the agenda. We have anyone?
Richard, this is Russ. I'm going to take a moment in public comment to make an announcement, if you don't mind.
Sure. Is there
Okay.
anyone else? You want to go ahead, Russ, or you want to see? It doesn't look like anyone else is. So you can go
It
ahead.
won't
Russ.
take long. It won't take long, Richard.
Go ahead.
Let's see. I have made up my mind, what's left of it. I am not going to run for re-election this year. I will finish out my terms for the sanitary district, Casitas, and OBGMA, which will end in December, I believe. But I won't disappear. I'll be back to do what I do best, and that's to convince myself what is the right thing to do instead of having to convince 5 other people. Anyway, that's my announcement. Go ahead, Richard.
It would be much easier, Russ. Would be.
It would. By the way, Richard, you told me once that you have a life and you want to see your grandchildren. You must have changed your mind, dude.
Well, I don't get to see them as much now, so
Okay.
I have to Zoom them.
Congratulations, Russ. In December, you and I can share a cab. We'll both leave together.
There you go, Johnny. I'm in for that.
All right, no other comments, public comments? We'll move on to consent items.
If there are no objections, changes, or deletions from the minutes, I will move approval.
I'll second it.
I call the roll.
Director Finch,
Yes.
Director Baggerly,
Yes.
Director Johnston,
Yes.
Director Thielke,
Yes.
and Chair Hages.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Next item is treasurer's report and budget extraction charges by period. Anyone have any questions or comments on that?
I just wanted to point out that we are spending a little more money. Part of that is because of the groundwater basin. Somebody
Sorry.
else. That's all right. Groundwater basin model. We've had to pay some of the fees on that. We did get a report. Jordan and I need to talk about the that report and whether anything needs to be amended or further included in that report on the basin model. So we'll work on that over the next month, and hopefully we'll have that report to you your next meeting. And we're going to need to keep an eye on the revenues and expenses. We did bill for extraction fees early in July, which will include the new fee. And so, but one of the things I'm at least going to explore, I'd like to bring back to the board, you might want to consider a bridge loan to help cover expenses, especially when you start getting into spending money on the GSP. Because I don't know if the revenues from the extraction charges are going to be timely enough to help cover our expenses.
Well, it's not from the Brooklyn Bridge, is it?
No.
Having
all.
just signed checks on those, you're going to be more than doubling your revenue over prior year with no change in water usage. So
Right.
hopefully, by slow pedaling a few things, hopefully we can do it without, but I guess time will tell.
I just want to give you an option. That's all. I'm not suggesting we do it, but
So would that mean going to Bank of Sierra, or is there some other place specifically that an agency like us would go to for getting a bridge loan?
I think I'd check with the Bank of Sierra first, but I'll do a little research and see what else is available out there. If anybody's got any thoughts or comments, I'd appreciate that too.
Do we have a estimated cash flow set up on this yet, so we get an idea of when the pinch will come if we have one?
Yes, and I didn't pull that together today, but I'll bring that to you next month. But we do have an idea of how much we're going to spend. It was based on, the analysis was based on the development of the fees that we presented to you, and shows the expenses in each year that we could expect. So I can bring that to you, review it with you next month.
Any other questions or comments on the treasurer's report? If not, can I have a motion to accept it?
I so move.
Second.
We'll call the roll.
Director Finch,
Yes.
Director Baggerly,
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Director Johnston,
Yes.
Director Thielke,
Yes.
and Chair Hedges.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, the next item is consultant selection for the GSP. John?
Yes, thank you. I don't know if everybody's had an opportunity to read my memorandum, but we did receive 3 proposals, one from DUDEC, one from DBSNA, and one from GEI. And Jordan and I both reviewed those, and we were both of like mind about who we were going to recommend. And I did put together in the memorandum that this process took us almost a month. I didn't get it wrapped up. Let me back up. The responses to the groundwater sustainability plan proposal were due July 1st. And Jordan and I did our review, and then we went back to DUDEC to talk about fee. And by the time I got this wrapped up, it was July 20th, 24th, I think. So it's being presented to you today. It's a little better than I expected, but certainly more than I would like to see. But I think we got pretty good competitive proposals. As I said in my memo, we're not required to go through a bid process and accept the low fee. And we think DUDEC did provide the best response to the scope of work. And we do believe they could do the work that this board expects and do it pretty well. They do have familiarity with the basin as well as DBSNA, but GEI was mostly the Central Valley and Sacramento areas. So that was one of the reasons that we didn't consider them. But they were a pretty good firm. So any thoughts or questions?
So, John, just so everyone on the board who hasn't been through this process, 500,000 times, the lack of competitive bid is because it's for services.
Correct. And as I mentioned in here, California law does not require public bidding. It does allow you to select a consultant based upon their qualifications, and you can consider the fee, but it's not the only thing. And so you're looking for professional services as opposed to public works construction.
Thank you, John.
Anyone have any comments, questions?
Got a
So
motion for you.
Jim?
make your motion, then we'll have a discussion.
Okay, I move that we accept staff's recommendation for Dudek.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
So are these guys pretty used to coming down to this kind? That was a good negotiation, John. It just made me wonder: do they pad it up so they can come down?
No, part of it was their initial proposal looked at doing everything. And so Jordan and I got back to them with some comments about, well, here's some areas we think that I could be more involved in, that Jordan could be more involved in, which included outreach, communications, which included collection of data, developing of the basin plan. So they looked at our comments and from that said, okay, if you guys are going to be a little more involved, then we can reduce the fee. I was surprised it was a reduction of that much.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining.
no.
Yeah,
Okay.
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And just to echo what John said, we took a look at all of these proposals, of course, but one of the keys about Dudek is they really seem to understand the scope and the size of the OBGMA and what our charge is with respect to fulfilling the requirements of SGMA by preparing and implementing this groundwater sustainability plan. That said, they also understand, that they're new enough to the basin itself to have generated the proposal they did. And it made it relatively simple for us to say, well, we're already doing this and we're already doing that and we're going to do that already. So just by changing that scope, it reduced their budget accordingly, which is how it should be in a negotiation like this. And I commend John on the legwork of that negotiation.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just like to say that on the public outreach part of it, is not going to be easy since we have to do a lot of it like this. I think we should come up with a set of procedures and how we're going to contact people that would be interested and how we accept their comments and how we respond so that we have a consistent method of dealing with each comment and each interested party so no one can claim they were left out of the process.
That's the expectation with any of the consultants that we would, as part of the submittal of the GSP, we have to develop a outreach plan, communications plan, and we also are required to develop an interested party list, and that has to be submitted as well. And so those are two activities we're going to be doing. But I agree with you, Richard. This is not going to be some meeting in the town hall, where you're going to meet with people. It's going to be a lot of this kind of work. So we're going to have to be much better prepared, have much better presentations, and have an ability to listen to people. We need to record it. We need to keep track of our meetings and the comments that were made, because ultimately at the end of the day, Department of Water Resources wants to see how much effort we put into the communication program.
Any other comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. I'm going to take the roll.
There, Roberta?
Director Finch,
Yes.
Director Baggerly,
Yes.
Director Johnston,
Yes.
Director Thielke,
Yes.
and Chair Hages.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, John and Jordan. Made our decision a lot easier.
Yeah, it just took longer than I expected, but we got it done.
Yeah, well, we need to let the bank account build up a little bit.
Yeah.
And
All right,
I almost hope that if this continues on, hopefully the state will give a little extension on the timelines due to COVID. Because it really throws a wrench in it. And anytime we talk to any of the legislators, I think that due to COVID, 6 months to a year is appropriate on these timelines. That we shouldn't press forward, but I think any chance we get, we ought to mention that.
Well, I agree. And also we need to push the issue that the state delayed in getting their review of the alternative together. And so we got started late in this process. So we need to say, if we don't get this done by January of 2022, we have a couple of factors for that reasoning.
I think as long as we show we've made material progress, I don't think that's going to be that big of a problem. But
I agree.
We should keep it in mind, but keep pushing forward.
Yep.
Okay, the next. For me,
it also presumes they actually care.
Yeah, well, that's true. Okay, consideration of resolution number 2020-2.
So moved.
Second.
Do your banking.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. And call the roll.
Can I get the second? I didn't catch that.
Jim.
Okay.
Okay, Director Finch,
Yes.
Director Baggerly,
Yes.
Director Johnston,
Yes.
Director Thielke,
Yes.
and Chair Hages.
Yes. John,
Unanimous.
should we just make arrangements to stop by the office and sign these, or?
Well, I have signatures from everybody.
Okay.
You had signed those a month or two ago, but we needed a resolution. And at the end of the day, we're also going to need to have copies of your driver's license.
Okay.
So
Can I get it back?
we'll work through coordinating all this.
I don't have driver's licenses anymore, do we?
We don't need those.
Yeah. My wife has an ID and it expired and I can't seem to get it renewed.
Yeah, right.
And I guess, I know you've approved this already, but we're going to need to take Director Baggerly off that resolution. And I guess I did and I did have a question, whether you really wanted me on it or not. I just thought the more people available, the easier it will be in the long run.
No, I think it's appropriate. I mean, Cece was on it, so having you on it is absolutely appropriate.
Okay.
So, let's just leave the resolution as is, and then at the appropriate time when there is a new director sitting,
Right.
then we would do one to rotate Russ off and the new person in.
Okay.
You're actually going to have to do two. Move.
Right. At least.
I'm highly efficient. I'm just trying to combine them into one.
Yeah, I think that's fine. As long as Jim is on it, if I'm on it, I'm available almost all the time.
Yeah.
And Peter's around a lot. So.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, then I'll rescind my motion.
Rescind it to do.
You're going to leave it the same? You don't need a motion?
Yeah, we'll just leave it the same.
Yeah.
We'll do it again in a few months. Next item is the information item on the groundwater model update.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, I included this in the package. I thought you ought to see it, but Jordan and I need to review this and talk about it and get back to DBNSA with any comments. So it was a lot longer process than I expected. Originally, I just actually went through this. We awarded the work in February. February 10th. I followed up early April. We got an email and said it was expected to be completed late April, early June. I had to follow up again this month, and the next day, I finally got this memorandum. So we really haven't had time to go through it in any detail. And
John,
go ahead.
do you need a motion to receive and file?
No, I just wanted to provide it for information,
Thank you.
just so you'll have it. And if you have any comments, please get back to me.
All right, do we have any other business? If not, we're adjourned at 3:27. Thank you, everyone.
I'm the
Thank
official
you.
chairman.
Thank you.